Hi, creative souls. This is Kristen here. This is a creative well-being practice called neurographical drawing, and it's new to me, but I really enjoyed learning about the process, and I wanted to share it with all of you. I do a lot of sharing of creative well-being practices because I love to use the power of creativity and art making to create more ease, less stress, just sort of relax, calm me, bring me into the present state. So this is just a different modality and option to try. And I hope that you're all doing okay out there. I have felt a bit in pain and disconnected, and my body tends to have a way of forcing me to slow down and before I reach the point of burnout, and usually that isn't by creating some sort of pain, something of that nature, that just forces me to take a break and tune in. But it's really when I come back to my art that I finally feel that release. I finally feel free and ready to kind of move forward and let go some of that stress. Collectively, when we come together and we engage in some sort of creative action, it empowers us all. And art helps us to process really difficult feelings, helps us to process the seen and the unseen, things that are going on. And it gives us hope for what's possible. I always love that, when you create anything, you're creating something out of nothing. And in that process is hope. In that process is change and hope for what is possible. So, with that said, all right, let's turn down to my desk. I have a sketchbook here, just a small sketchbook that I'll be working with, and some markers. I have a black Sharpie marker. I also have some micron markers. So even a pen is fine if you've got a pen. And then something to color with. So I've got colored pencils, markers, could be crayons, could be watercolor. Any of those are fine. It's up to you and what you have available and what you feel like working with. I just have some meditation music playing, something to calm you and relax you. So this neurographic art is a simple way to work with your subconscious mind while you are drawing. The creative method is said to stimulate new neural pathways by combining art and psychology. It's a way to offer you to transform your stress and fear by drawing freeform lines and then later coloring them in to transform them into a beautiful work of art. Now, you can come to this process with just the idea of wanting to relax and nothing more, that's enough in and of itself. Or you can come to this with a specific problem or thing that's causing you some stress or discomfort currently, and hold that in your mind. And if you even wanted to, you can write on the back anything you're trying to work through. that's the item that's causing me a bit of stress, and I want to release and relax into feeling better. But again, like I said, you can just do this for relaxing into the moment and feeling calm if you're feeling just stressed in general or frazzled with everything going on in the world. Okay, so the process of this is really simple. You are going to use a marker or a pen, a felt tip pen maybe, to draw a long looping or crisscrossing scribble-like line on your paper. And you can do this with the intention of holding whatever you're trying to work through in your mind's eye, or just by saying you want to feel calm and relaxed and present, right? So you've got a nice squiggle. And we're not trying to draw anything in particular. You're just going to let it be a line. And then once you've got your first line, you're going to find any corners where those lines intersect and round them out. So what I mean is, like, see how these kind of intersect right here? I'm just going to create these little connections. And when you think of neurology, this sort of feels like those neurons, doesn't it? Connecting. And then you can go in and add some more lines. They call them field lines or neural lines. You can add some shapes to fill in the spaces. And you just want to extend along the entire piece of paper. So you might just add a few. You may have remembered doing something like this in grade school or middle school. I think they do similar types of drawings. And now what I'm doing is just finding more intersections and rounding out those corners. You're taking those rough, see how this has this very perpendicular line right here? So by putting that little curve in there, you're taking those hard edges and you're softening them. This can have a really calming effect. So you can see how this can take on a really meditative process. You might not know when to end. You just stop when you feel like you've calmed your nervous system. So I'm just kind of looking around to see if there's any connections, if there's any lines crossing that I didn't round those corners of yet. And then you can even darken some if you want to darken some lines. And then when you're ready, you can add some color. And you can do that with whatever you want. I grabbed some of my kids' markers. Haven't used them in a while. Not even sure if they all work. So it could be a nice time to test out your supplies. But you can also use colored pencils. You can use watercolor. I'm just going to start with some markers, and I'm going to go around the shape so that the darkest part of my marker is along the outside, and then let it be lighter in the center. And there's no wrong or right way to do this. This is just one of the suggestions I had seen, and I thought that it felt like a nice process. But you can color them all in different colors. These markers, because I'm working on mixed media paper, so they have a bit of a texture. These markers are looking kind of like a colored pencil. I'm not really thinking about my colors at all. I'm just kind of sticking my hand in the bag and grabbing what I grab. But you can also think about how you're feeling and what it is you're working on. If there's certain colors that you might be gravitating towards in this moment, you can add that. That is another healing element. So what do you all think of this process? Have you ever done anything like this before? Do you remember doing anything like this before? Are you trying it now, or does it look like something you might try on your own later? When you use this as an art therapy type of technique, it helps you to make connections. Relaxes your mind. And if you're someone who likes the idea of meditation, but finds just meditating on its own to be difficult, something like this is a way to quiet your mind and allow you to meditate in action. You can think of softening those edges are a way to soften your harsh thoughts allowing you to open up to what's possible. You can come back. So now I'm using a colored pencil. So when you're using a colored pencil, you can come back and create shading if you wanted to. It's up to you how how much time you want to sit with it. See any other colors calling me? Maybe a little more pink. You don't have to think too much about what you created, but if you want to, you can notice how you're feeling, if you've now like a sense of calm has come over you at this stage, and is anything coming to you? I'm feeling a sense of springtime and new beginnings of sorts with the colors that ended up being on my page. All right, and there you have it. I hope that you enjoy this new creative well-being process. Another idea that you can take to your sketchbook when you need a bit of relaxation, meditation, some calming, or if there's something specific going on that you just want to process in a different way. You know, sometimes we have things going on that are unseen or we can't even put words to, and these are the kinds of things that creativity really helps. Please join me over and discover your creative magic. Share what it is you're working on. If you have any questions or things you're trying to process, you know, that's welcome. That's welcome in that space too. All right, lots of love. Stay creative. Bye.